Good morning. Let's get ready for math on Thursday, January the 20th. We're getting ready for lesson 5.4. Let's look at our essential question. How do you record two-digit subtraction? Now this lesson is a lot like lesson 5.3 in terms of we can still do quick pictures if we need to, but we're going to start focusing mostly on doing the problem with just the numbers. In other words, we're going to do the math the way mom and dad have learned how to do it in school. We'll still do some with quick pictures, but I want you to start less from quick pictures and more on focusing on the numbers. So today we're supposed to answer this question. What is 47 minus 23? Now, of course, you will draw it in each of the boxes, okay? Now, if you wanted to draw the quick picture, that's fine. But remember, we're going to start depending less on the quick picture and more on just doing it with the numbers. Because let's face it, as you get older, you are not going to take and do quick pictures anytime you need to subtract two-digit numbers. So let's first do the quick picture. We have 7 ones, and we're supposed to take away 3 ones. Hey, look, I don't have to borrow. I don't have to regroup. I have 7 ones here. I need to take away 3. 1, 2, 3. And I have 4 ones. Now I have 4 tens. I'm supposed to take away 2 tens. So I come over here. I take away 2 10 sticks. And then I have the answer of 24. So my quick picture shows me that my answer with numbers should be 24. Well, now let's see what we do whenever we get ready to subtract with the numbers. The actual algorithm. That's what this is called, is an algorithm. Let's say the rhyme. More on top, no need to stop. That means, is 7 bigger than 3? Is there more on top? And yes, there is. If there's more on top, no need to stop. That means I can subtract. So 7 minus 3, that's our fact. Our reflex fact equals 4. Don't have to borrow here. Now I go to my tens. 4 minus 2. And 4 minus 2 is 2. And my answer is 24. And that's how I would do this problem. Today, what I'm going to model for you are how to do some of the problems with the algorithm. And I'm not going to model as much with the quick picture. I'll do a few of these, but then the rest of them are on your own. Give me a moment to set my camera and get it moved. All right, let's take a look at number 1. And like I said, I am going to focus on doing the problem with the numbers. If you still want to do it the quick picture, that's fine for today, but very soon it is numbers only. Let's look at number 1. Number 1 is 47 minus 15. Just like when we added two-digit numbers, when we subtract, we always start in the ones column. So I'm going to come here to my ones column, and I'm going to draw my arrow. Now I'm going to say my rhyme. Do I have more on top? Yes, 7 is bigger than 5. And here's the way the rhyme goes. More on top, no need to stop. That means I can subtract. So 7 minus 5, that's a reflex fact that I know, and I know that that is 2. Now I go to my tens. 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1, again, one of my reflex facts, that is 3. So my answer would be 32. Now, if you want to show how to do it with a quick picture, you can. If you completely understand how to do it with the numbers, don't worry about the quick picture. I'm not going to grade that part. But what I want you to go do, this is the goal. How do you do math using just the numbers? So number 1 was pretty easy. We didn't have to borrow or regroup. Now let's take a look at number 2. Number 2, our problem is 32 minus 18. Okay, so here we go. First thing I do is, just like always, I'm going to start in my ones column. And then I'm going to say my rhyme. Do I have more on top? No need to stop. Is 2 bigger than 8? No. Let's do the next part of the rhyme. More on the floor? go next door and get 10 more. Oh, look at that. 8 is bigger than 2. There is more on the floor. So I have to borrow. So I'm going to come over to my tens. I'm going to cross out my 3. And the number that comes before 3 is 2. So I'm going to write down a 2. And I want you, as you do these problems, I want you to think about these steps and say them in your head the way I am. Go over to 3, cross it out, write down a 2. Put a 1 in front of the next 2 that's in the ones column. Why a 1? Because we just borrowed 10, and 10 plus 2 is 12. So now we just naturally have 12. So now I can subtract my tens because I finally have more on top. 12 minus 8 is 4. And now I can do my tens. 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answer will be 14. And that's how I would record my steps using for two-digit subtraction. Let's go ahead and look at the next page. I'll do a couple more with you, and then the rest of this math, it is your responsibility to do on your own. Let's look at number 3. The first problem says 35, I'll just write it here, minus 29. Okay, first we're going to start in the ones column. So we're going to get in the habit of putting that arrow there. And now let's do our rhyme. Do I have more on top? Is 5 bigger than 9? No. Do I have more on the floor? I do. I have to go next door and get 10 more. To get 10 more, I cross out the 3. And the number 2 comes before 3, so I write down a 2. Then I put a 1 in front of the 5. So now I have a new problem. 15 minus 9. And 15 minus 9 is 6. 2 minus 2 is 0. I don't have to put that 0 there, but I can if I want to. And you know how I am about putting those zeros. I get a little bit nervous in class about having that empty space. So my answer then is 6. If you want to try it with a quick picture, you can, but I also want you to do it with the numbers today. We are not just doing quick pictures only. So now let's look at number 4. The problem is 28 minus 5. All right, friends, there it is. There's that empty space that makes me nervous, so I'm going to put a 0 there. That way I make sure that I subtract in the right columns. Now I go to my ones. I'm going to put my arrow, so that's where I start. Okay, here's my rhyme. Do I have more on top? Is 8 bigger than 5? It is. So more on top, no need to stop. That means I just get to subtract. 8 minus 5 is 3. Now I go to my tens column. 2 minus 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. And just like that, when we don't have to borrow, they're so much faster and easier. And remember, borrow, regroup means the same thing. All right, let's take a look at number 5. On number 5, I have 53 minus 26. All right, here we go. Start in my ones column. Let's say the rhyme. Do I have more on top? Is 3 bigger than 6? No. Do I have more on the floor? Yep, I do. 6 is bigger than 3. I go next door and get 10 more. Cross out the 5. Write down a 4 because 4 comes before 5. Put a 1 in front of the 3. Now I have a new problem. 13 minus 6. And hopefully you know that from reflex. 13 minus 6 is 7. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Friends, you have one more problem I'm going to do with you, and the rest of math for today from your assignment sheet, it's on your own. Last problem, 32 minus 13. Okay, here we go. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put my arrow above the ones because I always start subtracting in the ones column. And let's say our rhyme. Do I have more on top? Is 2 bigger than 3? Nope. Do I have more on the floor? Is 3 bigger than 2? Yes. More on the floor. Go next door and get 10 more. Cross out the 3. Write down a 2 because 2 comes before 3. Put a 1 in front of the 2. And now I have a new problem. 12 minus 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. Hopefully that's one of your reflex facts. 2 minus 1 is 1. And the answer is 19. Friends, you will notice when I do these subtraction problems, you'll hear me say the same thing over and over. And I will tell the kids in class, it's like I want to haunt your dreams. I want this math to become so natural to you that it just becomes a routine. Cross out the 2 or 3, write down a 2. Put a 1 in front of the 2. These are things that I will ask children to repeat over and over and over out loud as they do these problems. So it becomes part of a habit, becomes part of a ritual. If you have any questions or concerns, contact me. Good luck with the rest of math today.